Hi everybody, this is Rob Darrow, and we've been talking about how to record on Zoom and then transfer that recording to YouTube. So I thought I'd put together this video to show you how to do it, and in the process it will provide the background of all the things you need to do in order to do it. As I thought about the critical attributes for learning that in order to do that, or what do you have to know in order to record on Zoom and then upload it to YouTube, here's the things that need to be in place, and you can think about those things for yourself, because if you don't have these in place, then it's going to be harder to make it all work. So you have to have a Zoom account that you can record on. You have to have a YouTube account where you can upload videos to. And if you don't know Zoom and if you don't know YouTube, then that's going to take some time to learn those areas. Number two, you've got to plan out what to say. You have to write a lesson or create some sort of visual guide. I wrote a visual guide and I have those notes sitting next to me here, so I know what I'm going to say in the order I'm saying them, and then I put some of them on this screen so I knew exactly what to say. You probably want to identify which visuals you want to use. I decided to have some slides here, and then I'll also show you parts of my computer. You need to know how to record on Zoom, and when you do record, you want to save that recording to your computer. And you've got to think about where to record for the best sound and a nice background. As most of you know, I always wear a headset with a microphone because then I know that's the best sound. If you don't have a headset with a microphone, then your regular computer probably will work fine. Then you have to do the recording. And of course, set aside the time in order to do the recording. Then once you've got the recording, you want to save the recording on your computer. And then once that file saved, you got to know where the file is on your computer. And as most of us know, sometimes those files get hidden on our computers. We don't know where they are. So pay attention to that. Number 8, after you know where that file is, then you've got to log into your YouTube account. And then you upload a Zoom recording to your YouTube. And we use YouTube because it's more accessible to more people that way. And then finally, as you're uploading to YouTube, you got to know how to name that file and how accessible you want the file. And then you want to save and share that link as needed. So those are all the different pieces that you need to know in order to even begin to record. So I chose to first show you those screens as an opening so you knew where I was going, and then show you my face here for a few minutes, and then I'm going to share my screen at the bottom of this recording and then move to another area. But I just wanted to say that those 10, 11 items, that you've got to think about all of those items first. And if there's some parts of those you don't know, then you probably need to go to YouTube or some of those other tutorials and read those for yourself before you do a recording. But once you figure out how to do the recording, it's really easy. So I just wanted to say that to you face to face. And now I'll continue on with the tutorial here. And the other thing, know that I'm using the pause recording from time to time in this recording, which is useful as you switch from slide to slide or from share screen to face like I'm doing here. So I'm now pausing the recording, and then I'll share my screen and move into the next part of this. To begin the Zoom recording itself, I'm logged into my CSU Monterey Bay account here. And you could have a public Zoom account, or you can do it through CSU Monterey Bay. But as students at CSU Monterey Bay and faculty, we all have access. So here's how Zoom looks to me when I log into it. So I log into this, and then I have the options here to schedule a meeting, or if I go to my account profile, oh, that didn't tell me what I wanted. Where is what I'm looking for? So within your Monterey Bay Zoom account, you've got several different options here. You've got a profile button on the left here, you've got meetings, and those are really the two main areas that you need. And so in the meetings area, that's where you could schedule a new meeting, but I find the easier thing to do is just to have my personal ID account right here. So I'm highlighting these points right here, that these are my personal ID. Once I pull that out of here, when I click on it, logged in, then I can just use Zoom and set up my account. So I've already done that. I'm now recording on my Zoom account. And so that's how I get into Zoom. That's how I start the recording. And then I'm going to show you some of the steps, the next steps here. So you now record whatever it is you're recording. And at this point, I already showed you by opening slides, and I'm just talking to you here a little bit. I could click on share screen, which I'm going to do now. So I'm going to pretend like my recording is now finished. And when the recording is finished, it saves as a file on your computer. And again, I'm going to share my screen here, and you'll see me switch to my desktop. And on my desktop, I've opened up my folder, and this is different on different computers. On my computer, it's a Mac. I have a documents folder where I save everything, and that's how I arrange my documents. On a PC, it might be my documents, but somewhere on there, there's going to be this file called Zoom. And you can see all my Zoom meetings that I need to delete some of these because I don't really need them. But in this section, the one section I did want to show you is the last recording from this class. So I'm opening up this document here that says section 8081, and I've enlarged these documents a little bit so that you can see this is the document you need, that's the recording that needs to be uploaded to YouTube. So within the folder where the recording is saved on your computer, you will find a zoom_0.mp4. That's the file you want. You can tell that's the file you want because it's called that, but also you can also see the size over here is pretty large, 158 megabytes. So this recording, I believe, I recorded for about an hour of time. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when you initially upload it, so you see what that looks like in YouTube as well. So so that's the file. So you got to find the file once it's recorded. So that's the first phase of this. Is number one, click recording in Zoom, save the recording, find the file on your computer. And then the next step is to upload it to YouTube. So I've got my file identified. Now I've got to log into YouTube. So I'm going to open up my browser window here. And you'll see I've got a number of tabs open on the top. I suppose that's another thing to know, is that when you're working with these different items, you probably have several tabs open, right? I have a tab open for this recording. I have a tab open for my YouTube account. I have a tab open for the visuals that I was showing you, and I always have my email open over here. So you should have a number of browser tabs open to make this work. So I'm going to YouTube, and here's my YouTube channel. I know it's my YouTube channel because at the upper right side is my photo, or it might say RD or something like that. And then I'm going to click on Upload Video. When I click on Upload Video, I need to go to where that video is on my computer. And you can see that YouTube's taking a little while to load, so it's not always quick. And of course, that depends on the speed of your network as well as the speed of YouTube. So I'm clicking on Select Files, and now I'm going to have to navigate my computer to where that document is. And so I know that it's in my Documents folder. So I'm going to my Documents folder. I know it's in a folder called Zoom. So I'm opening up Zoom. And I know it's in this section 8081 from earlier this week. And in there, here's that file I need, zoom_0 mp4 from April 6th. I click on Open. I've now selected the file, and YouTube then starts doing their work. Now you can see on my screen that you've got to give it a title. So I'm going to call this ED615 section 81 and April 6th class. And I think down here I'm going to put first Zoom class. I'll just call it first Zoom class. And then I'm scrolling down here. If I want to get real fancy, I could upload a thumbnail here, which would be the view that it shows when the YouTube is uploaded. And then I have a series of playlists on my YouTube. And playlists are a good idea because then you can organize your stuff just like folders on your computer. So I have an ED615, there it is, playlist. So I'm selecting that because that's where I want the video to go as it finishes. And then I have this option of audience. If you click, yes, it's made for kids and there's no ads and they're it's made for kids. We know what that means. I'm going to click on no, it's not made for kids, because it's really made for adults. And I could choose age restrictions if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do an age restriction. So then I click on next. And there's these end screens if you wanted, cards. I never do much in this screen area, video elements. I click on next. And then here's our options on the visibility. Do I want to make it public? Do I want to set it unlisted? Do I want it set it private? Now the thing to know is if it's public, then it is searchable and people can search in YouTube and find it. Now, since this is a public institution, a public class, I'm going to make this public. But for you, for the assignments you're doing in this class, you're welcome to mark them as unlisted if you want, as long as you know what the link is. If it's unlisted or private and you have the link, you send the link to whoever you want and they receive it. So whatever way works best for you. On the right-hand side right here, here's the video link that will eventually happen as it's being done. So I've now done everything that I need to do. You can see down at the very bottom of the screen, I hope you can see this, it now says 65% uploaded, 2 minutes left. So I'm going to click now on publish. When I click on publish, then this process, depending on how long the video is, may take a little bit of time. And that depends on the size of the video and the speed of the internet and all that sort of stuff. So at this point, you can leave this up and go do something else, take a break or whatever. And I think to save all of us the time from just sitting here watching, because, you know, technology is not always as fast as we like it, then sometimes we need to go do other things. So I'm going to pause this for just a minute and then show you what it looks like when it's finished. So I want to point out that first in YouTube, it uploads the video and then it processes the video. So at this point, it's uploaded, but it's not fully processed. Until it's processed, you don't really have a link to share and it's not really open. Now, while this is going on, you can click on close, but you can't share the video until that part is done. So again, I just wanted to show you that part. We don't have to all sit here and watch this together. You can watch your own on your own computer, but I just wanted to show you that that's the next step. So you can see that the video processing now at the very bottom says 95% processed. We could sit and watch this, or we can just close this window and go on to other things. So during this time, you don't have to be on your computer. You can go do other things, or you can just click on close, which is what I'm going to do right now. Know that that video will show up here at that particular point in time, and then all the videos that you have are shown right here. And here's my mystery person, which many of you have seen this, but you can find them. Once you click on the video of the person or the video you're looking at, then that's where you get you can go back and change these, and that's where you get the link as well. So that's where you get the video link to share with other people. That's the key piece. So just so everybody knows, I also wrote down how much time it took me for each piece of this. So it took me about between 30 minutes and an hour to figure out the visual guide for the planning for this, because the visual guide takes time to take screenshots and that sort of thing, which you have access to now. The planning of this took about 30 minutes. I kind of wrote down some ideas, had my notes on a piece of paper right here, and thought about what I needed to put together for those slides, which I put together. So that took about 30 minutes. The recording overall took about 15 minutes, and then the uploading to YouTube could take anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes depending on the size. So I put down about 30-minute processing. So as far as putting this all together, once I had the idea, it's about an hour of time planning and putting it together, and about 15 minutes to do the recording for me. And then the processing and all that, you don't have to be online to be doing that. So just so you know, that's how much time it takes for those types of things. And once again, I hope you found that using these different tools has helped you know that, again, these are the critical attributes that you need to know. And I've also created this visual guide that I will send out as well that shows all the steps that you need. So that way you can listen to this or you can read the steps and know that they're all together for you to use as well. So I hope that works for you. Consider this a modeling of how you can do your lesson plan and how you can record it. So enjoy your recording because it's really a lot of fun once you get started.